Alrighty, alright. Hello. Hope everyone, wait, hold on. Where is... There we go. Hi. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day, evening, afternoon, whatever time zone you may be in. Okay, when I sped through that phrasing, that opening, but fuck it, here we are. But seriously, how's everyone doing tonight? So, I also sort of realized, I messed up on Discord times. So I had accidentally set the Discord Unitext thingy to AM instead of PM. So that's a whoops. And let's go ahead and get to this screen because I need to fix something for some reason. There we go. Oh. Below this. Where did it go? Where does it keep going to? I am confusion. Let's throw it in. There we go. All right. So, last time we left off on... So let's see. We've met majority of the main cast. At least what I assume is the main cast. And both clubs were in the Writers Club room. We helped out the art club. And now we're at a spot where meeting up with Allison Caprice for lunch in the cafeteria, and now we have to choose between helping out talk to Allison or the bitch. TM question mark. And since I want to go a complete related to art club route, we're gonna talk to Allison. Heather's only half paying attention to me to begin with, so I quickly get up and skip over to Allison as she strides off. I have no intention of playing peacemaker, but it's striking how strong her feelings on the matter are.
Hey, Allison.
Allison turns to me, her frustration with Heather still simmering. Soon she turns embarrassed at being caught fuming.
Hi. Sorry about Caprice running off.
No worries. She seemed busy anyway. Fair prep?
Yeah, we're all a bit behind schedule, so we've been kind of scrambling.
Heather gives a dry, huh, as she overhears the last of our conversation before wandering off towards the food court counter.
She's always so rude.
Allison pouts at her back as she walks away.
Do you interact with the writing club much? Outside of yesterday, I mean.
Every now and then. More lately with this fair stuff. Not like Heather's much of a club member, though.
What exactly is the club fair about? I saw it advertised earlier last year, too.
There's not much to it. A bunch of the school clubs set up in the gymnasium and try to recruit people. Mostly freshmen who haven't been poached yet. Millie offered to share her space, so we're sneaking in this year.
If you have a way to get new people like that, why is Caprice so dead set on recruiting me?
Caprice is really serious about the club. But you've probably noticed that already. Honestly, she's serious about everything she does. She wants to get every person possible. A dream of hers is to grow and expand the club beyond even the huge existing one. And...
She trails off, suddenly going quiet as she thinks better of continuing.
And what?
to be honest with you, I prefer smaller groups. I'm fine with how things are. Nothing against you, though. You're free to join if you want. You'd love it, I'm sure. Everyone really is nice, and we have a lot of fun. Caprice is wonderful, too. I know she can be a little overbearing at times, but she always brings so much energy.
You know, now that I think about it, every group needs that one extrovert.
A little too much, maybe.
Sometimes, sure. I get it. When I first met her, I thought she was pretty overbearing. I wouldn't really fault you for thinking that.
She's good at what she does, though, right?
Oh, absolutely. Everyone there is. I'm still learning, but they're always teaching me new things. But I guess what's happening is...
Taps her fingers to her chin, pausing to give her next words some thought.
Caprice wants us to be a legitimate club. A club that's official, real, whichever word you want to use. We aren't much of one right now. We barely nudged our way into the fair. Even then, we kind of cheated to get there.
If I join, will that even change anything?
I don't know. It'd take more than one person, probably.
Of course it would. More members would be helpful, but I wonder how many they'd even gain from an event like this. Then there's the fact that Allison here clearly doesn't want it. I wonder if I'd just be butting into some group of close friends more than joining a club.
Still, we're going to do our best. You should do what's best for you, too.
Thanks. Sorry for keeping you. I'll see you around.
Allison gives a quick goodbye before skipping out to try and catch up with Caprice. What I found might not have been what I wanted to hear, but at least she was honest. Now, time to actually get some food. I quietly mull things over as I head to the food counter. The art club is close and friendly. They're small because it's like they're a group of friends trying to be a club. The writing club isn't much, but at least Millie seems capable and eager to help. It'd probably be better not to even consider Tanya and Heather as factors. Not sure if either is a good option. Hopefully this club fair will help me find better answers. With class still some time ahead of me, I find myself wandering the halls, going over my choices in my head.
Hey.
Haley! I just about bump into Haley, who's carrying some poster boards and other material.
Whoa. Hey, you need some help?
Without answering, she shoves some of her supplies in my direction, which I take. I already have a general idea of where she was heading.
The gymnasium, right?
Smart. Come on, you've been drafted.
That was quick. She goes, and I follow.
So, how'd the meeting go yesterday?
You didn't hear about it?
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Oh, I heard tons of things. But I'm interested in your perspective.
I would love nothing more than 5 minutes of mental break from the Caprice and Millie war. Unfortunately, it looks like something I won't be able to avoid anytime soon.
Well, I'm not even entirely sure what happened. It felt like a sudden whirlwind.
Yeah, sounds like them.
As we enter the large building, I see that the area has been filled with tables arranging in rows. There are students running about, readying their booths.
Hey, where are we taking all this?
Over here.
Oh boy. I follow her to a table, or what's supposed to be a table anyways. Instead, I find two smaller booths cramped inside the same small space, covered in red and blue cloth. One has a formal looking sign which reads creative writing. The other has a very slapdash sign simply reading art, clearly written by the same hand.
You get the rundown on how they're sharing a spot already?
More or less. I remember them packing up a lot more than just a couple tablecloths and posters, though.
Plot twist. All the paper was for handmade cards.
The art club is off turning all that into brochures and other promo material for the two right now.
I was
This is all
close.
just bare bones stuff.
I was close.
I'm surprised Millie trusts them enough to handle that.
Haley tucks her armful of supplies safely under the writing club's desk. I follow suit, emptying my hands as she lifts the cloth up for me.
Millie gets along well enough with all of them. It won't be an issue.
Could have fooled me.
Things are just complicated right now is all. You saw how they were at the diner.
Are you talking about their friendly small talk or them trying to poach me from each other?
That's why I called it complicated.
She brings a hand to her headphones, debating pulling them over her ears. After a moment, she thinks better of it, deciding to instead lean lazily against the writing table.
You're committed at this point, right? You're gonna be picking one or the other?
Yeah, that's about as far as I've gotten in my thinking, though.
No particular feelings so far?
Oh, tons of feelings. Most of them dread. It all sort of cancels each other out.
Well, good luck.
Haley, no, don't leave.
Wait, what's up?
That was just Millie stuff. Gotta head over to the art room now.
Want me to come with you?
I've got it covered, thanks.
Once again, the headphones come up, signified the end of the conversation. She pulls herself up from the table and starts making her way past me without any further elaboration. It may be impossible to decipher Millie and Caprice's going on, but trying to get a read on their roommate is an entirely different experience. I debate sticking around to catch her again, but decide against it and make my way out of the auditorium, going out of my way to leave through the opposite doors. Is there a Haley route? Can I have Haley? Today marks a day so rare that I can't remember the last like it. Something so monumental, the full implications haven't yet settled in. A day without school, study, or work. That is rare. Usually it's just two of the three you have to do. Or sometimes all. But having all of them off? The sizzling bacon rings in my ears, its smell playing on my nose. With time on my hand for once, I decided to start the day with a simple pleasure, the taste of eggs and bacon for a late breakfast. As I nudge the bacon with the spatula, I take a sip of the steaming coffee beside me. Unfortunately, my skills in cooking haven't translated to my skills as a barista. The concoction proving foul. If it weren't badly needed caffeine, I'd have tipped it out already. The little cactus sitting on my windowsill catches my eye, my pride and joy, as embarrassing that may be to admit, easy to take care of too.
Looks like you're doing better than me these days.
My words to the plant go unheard. Living alone isn't the easiest thing. Every chore, meal, and errand needs doing myself after all. But it's comfortable. I can do things on my own schedule and eat at my own pace. Solitude might not be easy nor cheap, but it's simple. Mood. Like, there is just so much of a mood with pleased with the plant's quiet and unassuming company, I take another sip of my foul coffee. Distant ping from the couch announces I've received a text. Considering how few people I know, it's either mom or work calling in to ask me to help cover a shift. Knowing which I prefer, I turn down the heat on the stove and walk over to pick up my phone. Hover near the top Olive, are you home right now? Unlike me, she at work today. I look at the time, not even noon yet. If she's texting me now, she's probably just getting off her opening shift. What's up? Mind if I drop by for a bit? Maybe over lunch? Sure. Great. See you then. See ya. She's fussing over me again, as she so often does in quiet moments. It's hard not to notice this happening more often now that I'm living alone, though she never outright admitted that. Not that it really matters. I cherish any free time we get to spend together, and it's not like I had anything in particular planned for the day ahead. Besides, she could probably lend me some more insight. Mom sits at the small table. It's shabby, scuff wood adorned with a small pastry box brought with her from the diner. It's a bit of comfort to know that even living apart, she still brings extra treats for me. And I'm thankful I had a light breakfast.
Honey, you really didn't need to cook for me. At least let me help.
I was going to cook lunch for myself anyway. Whether it's for 1 or 2 people, doesn't make that much difference.
Oh. Not gonna lie. Mom's pretty. I carefully bring 2 plates over from the kitchen counter, each loaded with chicken, vegetables, and rice. Despite her protest, Mom's eyes widen at the meal as it's placed before her, still steaming away.
This is better than having to cook for yourself. You deserve better than work food every other day anyway.
She smiles excitedly at the plate, shifting the box to the side.
It looks as good as it smells.
Thanks. So, how's work?
I take my seat next to her upon placing down my own plate of food. Mom talks about her day as I sit and take a knife and fork in hand.
And she's yelling at me. Her baby is crying, and her other kid, I'm telling you, they had the most embarrassed look.
Oh. A usual day of just going back home. So how was your work day? Okay, listen to this shit.
But what can I do? Except apologize. And of course, she didn't even tip.
That asshole. A note for chat, always tip your servers if you can. They go through a lot of shit.
Sorry I wasn't there to help you deal with that.
I'm glad you weren't there. Speaking of which, how's your day off been so far?
Oh, boring. Stressful.
What did you do?
I sat around here, mostly just a lot of thinking.
Ollie, it's your day off. At least take some time for yourself.
Look, sometimes taking time for ourselves means literally doing nothing. At least for me, anyways.
With what's been going on...
Still turn up about your classes, huh?
Yeah, guess so. And things just keep getting more complicated.
What do you mean?
I explained to her about the clubs between the meeting from a couple days ago, the upcoming fair, and the feud between the two leaders. She listens attentive, her expression varying between interest and concern. I feel myself deflate further and further as I talk, the hopefulness of the situation becoming all the clearer as I put in the words. It never quite sunk in until now how bad my options are.
I really don't know what to do, Mom.
She has that soft, caring smile I've seen so many times in my life.
I know it's tough, but look at it this way. Even if they're fighting, the club leaders have been nothing but nice to you, right?
Sure. Maybe a bit too nice.
Sorry, give me 1 second.
I just don't know how things will go. My whole college career hinges on this.
You're more resilient than you give yourself credit for. I'm sure you'll pull through. Everyone wants you to do well. I know you won't regret your choice, whatever it is.
That's easy to say.
It's true, though. You're wasting your day off stressing over it. Take the rest of the day for yourself. Relax, do something you enjoy. Don't make it another day of stress. That way you'll be going to this fair with a clearer head.
That's easier said than done. She does have a point, though. I can't do anything more than I've already done at this point. It may not sit right with me that my future depends on people I barely know, but those two are who I'm stuck with. I have no choice but to gamble on this.
I'll try.
That's my Ollie.
She gives me a hug and kiss on the forehead.
Now,
She pulls out the pastry box from earlier and places it on the table.
I brought a slice for each of us. Which one do you want? I'll let you pick first.
Inside lies 2 slices of pie, signature from the diner we work at. 1 slice of blueberry and 1 slice of cherry. I'll take the cherry. If I didn't know any better, I think she had done this on purpose. Monday comes around again. Took Mom's advice and tried to relax after she left yesterday. I don't know if I succeeded. I feel like I've come back from an exhausting weekend. Today's the day of the fair. I'm not sure if I'm sold on either choice yet, but I don't really have time to mull it over anymore. I went over it again and again. I'm hoping seeing them at the fair today will finalize that. With the morning study over, the cafe beckons for a quick pick-me-up before going to war in the club fair's gymnasium venue. Never have I been this kind of event before. I expect chaos, especially so given the circumstance. Heading in, the place is thankfully quiet, with a scant few students quietly sipping lattes while tapping on laptops or hunched over books. It wouldn't feel unusual any other day, but right now it feels like the calm before the storm. A particular lanky girl catches my eye as much for her bright getup and headphones as anything. Haley sits quietly as she listens to her music, hand in chin with a small coffee beside her. For someone so mild-mannered, she sure stands out. She picks up her head and waves me over. Pulling up, she rights herself a bit and takes a sip. Her grimace shows that it's either cold or bad. Probably only bought it to avoid being kicked out for hanging around without ordering.
Hey,
Hi. Done with fair prep?
yep. I helped them finish setting their tables up this morning, so I've got the rest of the day off till the car ride home.
It's bound to be an awkward time after the fair today.
Haley can only give a weak shrug in response.
Caprice doesn't ride with us much nowadays. Dinner the other day was just an exception to the rule.
I wonder how I should read that. The meeting was definitely a bit tense, but I didn't think it'd be to the point where they'd be avoiding each other to that degree.
Are things okay? Like, between them, I mean.
Her face remains as deadpan as ever, but I can faintly make out a raise in her eyebrows. I guess a question like that out of nowhere probably deserves a reaction like...
They've just been having some personal stuff going on for a while, and things are volatile. Nothing you need to worry about. Probably.
Probably.
Probably?
Would it make you feel any better if I said, definitely?
Fair enough.
I pinch the bridge of my nose in frustration and an act that apparently does not go unnoticed by her.
This stressing you out that much?
You don't know the half of it. The situation on my end is pretty dire.
You'll be fine. Promise. I mean it this time.
How do you figure?
If you're just worried about your grades or whatever, they'll both make sure you get to where you need to be. They've never let me down anyway.
No sip of her coffee, supposedly forgetting about the reaction she just had to it. As expected, her face contorts immediately in response.
Even if that's true, being stuck in the middle of those two like this just makes the entire thing feel more overwhelming than it probably needs to be, you know?
Yeah, well, join the club.
I've been stressing about just dealing with them this morning. I can't imagine actually sharing a living space with those two. I want to feel pity for Haley, but the small smile on her face makes me second guess that decision.
Get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Content that her joke landed, she pulls her headphones back over her ears and our conversation at its end.
Get your drink and get out there. Don't let me keep you. Good luck.
Good luck.
Alright. Nice talking to you.
Yep.
By the time I arrive, the club fair is in full swing. What must be hundreds of freshmen with a scattering of second years here and there fill the hall and mill about. It's interesting to see which one looks like they're on a mission as they head directly for a particular club, compared to others who just pursue the tables as a browsing at a farmer's market. Or me in an artist's alley at a convention. And all I do was just end up with 3 stickers. Dozens of small stalls are lined up with varying amounts of work put into them. Piles of flyers sit on each, the odd standee or prop setup, try and catch the gaze of passing students. Most of those behind the club tables look more bored than anything, some having checked out completely as they lean back and browse on their phone. Okay, chat. Who would be the ones doing that? Raise your hands. The occasional happy shout rings out as old friends recognize each other, but for the most part, it's a surprisingly subdued affair. A nice surprise that calms the nerves a little, but not quite enough to really feel comfortable. Strolling along the aisles, I casually note the more niche club entries such as robotics, fighting games, and fencing. Okay, but what about robotic fighting fencing games? I could probably be persuaded to join a couple of them under different circumstances. Nearing the end of one particular aisle, it isn't hard to spot, or should I say, hear, the art club's table. I'm calling it now. It's gonna be Caprice yelling, "Here, here, 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 come join the cool art club, forget the other one."
Looking for fun? Come to the art club. We're accepting anybody, no artsy experience required.
Close enough. Sounds about right. Millie sits beside her, hands together on the table as she patiently tries to catch the eyes of those passing by. The formal act strikes me as a little put on, but not helped by her occasional slips when Caprice gets louder than usual. How these two could live together has me beat, yet here they are. With their 2 small tables stuffed into one assigned space together, I feel like I've never fully understand the relationship these two have. Then it happens. Caprice and Millie both set their eyes on their prey at the same time. Far from a fight breaking out, an intensely awkward silence reigns between the three of us as they carefully maintain their smiling facades. The occasional student passing by only exacerbating the standoff. Sighing at the cruel fate assigned to me, I realize I'll have to take the initiative.
Alright, so we all know what's happening here. Let me hear it.
If I may, the writing club's a great working environment, and you could get a lot more done in a peaceful workplace than a party.
Not 100% sure about that, but go on.
And being a real club, we have actual resources and didn't have to rely on sneaking into the club fair to even be here.
Okay, the petty lost me. Even if she's too eager to bite, Millie isn't really wrong as she sneaks a smug look to her right.
Shows how much you know. I actually did the paperwork.
And yet here you are, sharing my allocated space.
I don't need to explain anything. Olive's seen how great we are already.
Breeze on her own definitely has an overwhelming personality, but her club seems mellow enough. That, combined with the fact the art class is likely to be easier overall, is tempting. The writing club, on the other hand, well, Millie herself seems really into the subject matter, at least. Even if the rest of the club isn't much of a factor, it'd be hard to find a better tutor.
So, have you made your decision?
Let's hear it.
Whichever club I pick, I'll have to drop both the other club and the other class. There's not much chance I could do both and pull out a pass. Save, 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 save. Alright, so we'll just copy both of those here. Back. Oh. Oh, the frown. Yeah.
For better or worse, I'm going with the art club.
Yay, art club hype.
Yes! I knew you'd make the right choice.
Join the art club, for better or worse. She bumps her fist, jumping up and down. Millie frowns with either annoyance at Caprice or disappointment in me. Probably both. He quickly corrects into a pleasant smile, though.
Well, Olive, thank you for at least considering us.
Sorry. I need to make sure I survive this semester. I need to pick an easy class. Writing is too difficult for me. This is why I'm a vocalist and not a songwriter.
Yeah, sorry.
Don't worry, you're not the only prospective member in this gym. I hope you have a wonderful time with your new club.
Now, the question is, where will this adventure take me?
Thank you. Good luck.
Wonderful won't even begin to describe it.
She reaches out and grasps my hand.
Thank you.
Her hand firmly grasps mine. She shakes my arm without rhyme or reason, expelling as much energy as she's physically capable. I don't want to admit how much it hurts.
I'm counting on you.
Don't worry. It won't just be me. The entire club has your back. We'll get you there. Trust us.
It's easy to get wrapped up in Caprice's energy. All I can do is hope that she's able to live up to that enthusiasm once we get into the actual studying. As long as she and the club are willing, I want to hope I'll be okay. Even if I have to force myself to believe it. Fake it till you make it. I don't know enough to know for sure, but all I can do is place my blind faith in them. It'll be okay. It has to be. Okay, so before we continue on, I am going to take a small break just so I could get up and refill my water, and we'll be right back. And we're back. So, how we feeling?
And so, to our newest member, Olive!
Yay! Yippee! Caprice stands at the end of the table, raising her glass full of soda. Fortunately for the rest of us, her volume is just passable as an indoor voice. Unfortunately, she stands with so much gusto that the combined effort of her voice and movement draws the attention of almost every other table in our vicinity anyways. Content with playing along, the rest of the art club half-heartedly raised their own glasses to match hers, albeit with greatly diminished enthusiasm. The urge to shrink away in my vest grows by the second, and I only barely manage to resist it. Still though, I can't help but sink into my chair just a little. Breeze is quick to notice, her eyes quickly meeting mine, her smile as wide as it's been all night.
Come on, you too!
I feel the eyes of every single person around land on me. I give her non-committal hand wave, but she just raises her glass even higher. She sure doesn't want to drop it. In an act of surrender, I hold up my cup as well.
Welcome to the club!
Welcome, Squidward. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. Welcome, Squidward. Welcome, Squidward. The rest of the club is less enthusiastic, and their following welcomes Allison and Wallace opt a quiet murmur of agreement, obviously feeling the attention. Notice as well, Eileen's response is a simple grumble. Satisfied with the response regardless, Caprice extends her glass and takes a drink, ending her impromptu toast.
Pizza again, huh?
It's tradition! We gotta do this every time someone new joins the ranks.
It feels like it wasn't attached to her face. Eileen's eyebrows would be It feels like if it wasn't attached to her face, Eileen's eyebrows would be leaving Earth's atmosphere.
Another tradition?
If we keep adding more, we'll be eating pizza more days than not.
Honestly, I feel like that would just get very old and very tiring, just eating pizza every day. Honestly, no, I don't think I want to think about that.
Is that a problem?
Hmm.
Oh, so I'm just an excuse for a party. Something tugs at the back of my mind, but I shake it off for now. An excess of celebrations isn't that big of a deal, assuming we still get study groups together.
Now that Olive has decided to join our club, we're up to 5 members. And how many did that other club recruit? 0?
Caprice.
I'm kidding. I wish only the best for them.
I wish I could believe her, but the grin on her face tells me a different story. From the moment we left the fair, she's been beaming with a kind of competitive sparkle only seen in athletes.
Well, it
Well-
was basically the flip of a coin.
Hold on. I can't help but feel weird about it. I do need the help, and I'm trusting her to be my best bet. Still, at the end of everything, I'm just a pawn Caprice is trying to keep on the field.
So you say, but I'm sure you had your reasons. For example, it's clear we were the fun choice. Probably the most fun at the whole fair.
There are a lot of reasons, but I can't say that was one of them. It was mostly for the study help.
I don't intend on becoming your personal tutor.
I didn't really plan on that.
Then you made the wrong choice. Caprice has been running us ragged since classes started back up last January.
Okay, the assuming we still get study groups caveat hasn't gotten off to a great start. Eileen takes a small sip of her beer before continuing her thought. I chance a peek at Caprice, who's suddenly gone quiet. She's struggling with a particularly large pizza, trying to catch all the cheese before it slides off.
The ratio of asinine field trips we've been taking to actual studying is heavily not in your favor.
It's Allison's turn for a death stare. This time focused on Eileen. Surprisingly, Eileen's posture shifts and her face softens enough to be noticeable.
Caprice should be the one to handle the bulk of it, since she roped you into this.
Allison's like, sweetie, remember the temper.
As long as I can pass the semester, I don't really care how.
Mood. I shift downward, feigning interest in the slice on my plate as a smoke screen to think things over. I said I don't care, but so far this get-together has me feeling more nervous than I expected. There's a vague offer of help here and there, but it's hard to get imagine this. Ah. Ugh. I don't know why I'm yawning. I'm not really EP. But it's hard to imagine how much of that is genuine versus how easily Caprice seems to wrap others into her excitement. And that brings me back to the head honcho herself. The more I sit here and listen to current affairs, the more I worry that perhaps I made the decision because I got wrapped up in her energy too. Give me a second. Sorry, had to sneeze. Allergies have really been kicking my butt lately. Like Eileen said, I'm here because of Caprice. It's too late to walk back that decision, so I have to trust her. Freed of her pizza, Caprice finishes all of her soda in one go and pipes back up.
None of that is important right now. We're celebrating! This is the beginning of a new year!
Honestly, that's a fair point. If you don't celebrate at least some, even small things, then what's the fun?
It's already fall.
A new school year. Caprice grumbles in protest at Wallace's remark as she takes the hat from her head and brings it out as if it was a wet rag, taking a moment to gather her thoughts. After the last imaginary drop is wrung out of the poor thing, she places it atop her head once more and her face lights up.
So here's the agenda going forward.
Wow, that's a way to
We'll draw,
change it.
create, and make more than ever before. And since Olive is just entering the world of art, we'll have to cultivate in them a love for it.
She looks at me and nods proudly, beaming. I feel the urge to remind her I'm looking more for study help than my own artistic awakening, but think better of it for now. Her eyes sweep across the rest of the table.
In the past year or so, we've only expanded more and more.
By a whole one!
Started with one, me. And then soon there were three of us.
Yes?
Allison sits up straight, startled.
With this club, you found a new love.
Allison looks red and nervous, eyes darting around the room. She briefly looks to Eileen for encouragement, who responds with a simple shrug.
Of the arts, you mean?
Yes, exactly. Beyond anything, the strongest power art has is to connect people. Where stuffy old words aren't enough, you can always count on the visual medium to bring everyone together.
You know, as much as I'm more of an auditory type of gem, I still feel it's true.
Speaking of which...
Oh, that's a segue. She starts moving her pointer finger from Allison to Eileen, who looks unperturbed. Allison slumps in her seat, relieved that the attention is off of her, I guess she hates to be the focus even more than I do.
Not another word.
Eileen's just like, no. No. Caprice's finger glides past Eileen and lands on Wallace, an emotion so clean you wouldn't think that it was last second course correct. These two really know how to navigate each other well, even if they're like oil and water.
And not to mention Wallace. You see? This club makes artists.
Eileen and I were artists long before you dragged us in here.
Details! Point being, the club is more than capable of molding someone into an artist, and that's exactly what it's gonna do. That's you, by the way.
I feel like we're getting ahead of ourselves here.
So the plan is simple. Create! Everything else will come naturally.
Yeah, create, draw, paint, build friendships, get a girlfriend. I mean,
Is that all?
Sounds fine to me. The sudden shift to dramatics made me worried something drastic was about to happen.
I believe in freedom of expression, but as usual, I'll be directing meetings to help inspire you. Inspiration can come from anywhere, and when it strikes, you have to capitalize.
wonder how many of these inspirational lines came from the internet and how many she tried to churn out on the spot.
That sounds good and all, but how will it help me pass her actual art class?
Oh, Olive.
It won't. She gives me a sad, pitiful look like I've just asked her how to boil water.
To understand art, truly understand it, you have to experience it. Be immersed in it.
How do you expect me to get immersed in what probably is an art history class?
There's no better way to do that than to be surrounded by it all the time.
I have my doubts, but go on.
But do you guys, like, actually study?
Seemingly trying to help the conversation, Allison raises her hand meekly to join in.
I took that class last semester. A big part of the finals is about exploring the fundamentals in your own way.
Okay, never mind. I guess this art club might actually help.
What, like actual art? So what's the textbook even for?
Reference?
It'll be fun. You'll see. What's gonna be your focus, Allie?
I was thinking of trying to get into sculpting or something this semester.
Oh, I like the sound of that. Branching out is important.
Caprice emphasized the drawing so much coming into this. I hadn't really considered that this club bothers with other art forms.
I've been trying some new brushes.
Ooh. Wallace holds the phone up to show Eileen the screen. Allison curiously leans in to take a look too. I can't see it from my angle, but trying to get closer to steal look doesn't feel right with how new I am to the circle.
Huh, not bad. But man, a tablet just doesn't feel the same as the real thing.
I'm sure you'd be great once you got used to it.
I'm sure you would. As for me, I don't think I could ever go traditional. No undo. I don't know how you do it.
Honestly fair. Like, traditional painting, I tried. It wasn't for me. At least, quote-unquote, traditional oil painting in terms of a unique class. Everything would still come out looking flat.
That's why we practice.
I'll just stick to digital. Thanks.
Eileen the traditionalist, Wallace the digital artist, and Allison the experimentalist. Regardless of everything else, I could have done a lot worse than this variety if I was looking for help. As for Caprice, what does Caprice do? I've seen some quick sketches of hers in class, but I'd like to assume there's more to her than that. I guess it won't hurt to ask.
Hey, what kind of art do you do?
She gives me a mischievous smile.
Oh, are you curious?
I'm sorry, I just need a screenshot of Caprice like that right quick. Like, that smug impression. I love her so much.
Not for long.
What do you mean not for long? I'll love her forever. She playfully taps my arm.
Oh, don't be like that. I made the posters and flyers for our club, of course. You saw some of my best work at the fair.
Are those her best examples? Posters were eye-catching, but they felt like technique has been swapped out with raw energy while creating them. That's even better. What the hell are you talking about? I guess that's suitably on brand, but I'm not sure if pure energy and willpower are enough to help me brute force the actual technical know-how needed for passing grade. Anything's possible on last minute and caffeine. Is it advised? No. Is it possible? Yes. Have I done it? Plead the fifth. Oddly though, those worries leave me briefly when talking in the pride and excitement she has when talking about them.
I can show you more during the next club meeting if you want.
Sure.
But only if you have something to show me in return.
What? I haven't even started yet and she's already giving me homework. The thought alone of going home tonight and drawing something as simple as a straight line to present embarrasses me senseless. Nevertheless,
I'll try.
just draw 2 straight lines. Wait, no. I'm sorry. I forgot. This is me we're talking about. That's fucking impossible to do. I also forgot I was only in the prologue. Don't worry, I'm enjoying it so far. My last class of the day passes in a blur. I don't think I can honestly say what the topic was about, but since it was just computer literacy, it probably didn't matter anyway. Diverting myself from my usual course towards the bike racks, I head towards the art building on the other side of campus. I try not to bump into the stream of people leaving or entering the campus, either escaping towards home or hurriedly rushing to their clubs, but it's a fruitless endeavor. It's been 2 weeks since the art club orientation / pizza party. Since then, the meetings have been even more scattershot than I expected. Both times, Caprice either left early or rescheduled at the last minute for another day. In the end, it doesn't affect me too much since we trade notes in class. Still, my worst fear about the club being so casual are coming true. As I make my way towards the next meeting, a feeling of dread hangs over me.
Hey.
Haley! Lost in thought, it takes me a minute to register when Haley calls out to me from a few steps behind.
Oh, hi.
Like usual, Haley's headphones are already slung around her neck, like she was expecting me.
Off to the art club?
Yeah. Well, I hope so. I'm not sure if it'll happen today or not.
It probably won't, yeah.
Damn. Oh.
Sorry to break the bad news.
Man, I really picked the wrong club, huh?
Haley's expression shifts to something slightly more emotive. Disappointed.
No. Either choice has its own issues. The writing club is barely holding together too, since Darren left.
Wait, what? Oh. Again? Darren quitting isn't exactly a surprise considering the circumstances. Knowing him since high school helped to keep the atmosphere a bit more manageable overall. Being stuck between Heather and Millie is a pretty solid deal breaker. I look at Haley, who gives me a non-committal shrug. She almost looks as downtrodden as I feel.
I joined to help keep the numbers up, but there's no helping the attitude of the other members. Look, I know it's probably weird coming from me, but if you could give the art club an honest try, it'd really help me out.
Not following, and Haley doesn't seem to mind if I do or not.
Caprice is doing her best. She won't let you fail your semester. She's just got a lot going on lately.
I'll keep that in mind. What's going on exactly?
I shouldn't really be the one to tell you that.
Oh. Great. Haley puts on her headphones, clearly ending the conversation, or at least putting on into any more questions.
I gotta go. See you.
Okay, but... And you're gone.
And you're gone. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Haley turns a corner, out of sight, clearly in a rush to get somewhere. I rub my eyes, willing myself to not turn around and head home for the day. Whatever her reason, if Caprice is going to call off the club for today, I should at least show up to say I did. Walking down the hall and up the stairs, I try to repress whatever feelings of anxiety remain. I'm out of options and there's no going back on my decisions. This is my best bet. For better or worse, I need to make the most of it. Before I even reach the door, I can hear the muffled sounds of Caprice's energetic shouting. The people in this building really have to deal with this all the time? Huh. I open the door as quietly as I can.
Experimentation! Let it flow through you. Let the medium speak to you.
The medium is saying that it needs to be a large with an extra shot. Can we make that happen? With oat milk, please.
Sounds suspiciously like a free study period.
Well, that's exactly what it is. You have to fly the nest sometime.
Two of them have already been flying for a while now. When I close the door, it closes with an audible click, loud enough to make Caprice's head turn like a cat who just spotted a mouse.
Olive! Welcome! You're late!
Caprice, thank you. Sorry.
Up at the front desk, art supplies are scattered all over the desk. Everything from paint tubes to crayons to glitter glue.
Did I interrupt you?
As long as it's not just glitter, we're good. Just regular glitter, we're good. That shit gets everywhere.
Yes, with perfect timing, too. Come sit!
I'm good.
Whoa, what a cold response. Did you have a bad day?
I'm having a bad afternoon.
Per usual.
Allison giggles, and Eileen closes her eyes in possibly mock frustration. Even if she's sincerely upset, it melts away instantly as Allison shuffles closer to her, muttering something about their dinner plans for later. Oh. Cute. Okay, but how cute did I fucking give it an honest try. Well, Haley, here goes nothing.
So, what's with the table? Something about a free period? I was actually hoping to review the lecture from last week. Oh my god, I love that. I love that look. I love the chuckle. A scary glint catches in Caprice's eyes as she pulls her hat down slightly, shadowing her face.
You walked right into my trap. Last week's lecture was all about artistic choices. Why does an artist choose dry media over wet? A 2D painting over a 3D sculpture?
Dry media. It's easier to work with, and I don't risk spilling anything. 2D. Because I don't have to worry about something looking decent all the way around. I just have to make it look like it's realistic. Sorta.
I'm not really understanding this second time around either.
A true Renaissance artist was experienced in many forms of art.
Each and every medium has unique capabilities. The best thing to do to understand these artists is do.
Putting her hands on her hips, Caprice looked at all of us like a captain at the helm of the ship, unwavering to the rocky waters ahead.
I have things to do today, so it's up to all of you to support each other. Mostly Olive.
What? You're leaving?
Yep, bye. I know Haley told me to expect it, but it's hard not to be disappointed all the same. Caprice turns to me, bowing her head and lowering her voice to speak to me directly.
I'm really sorry. I'm not usually flaky. I just have some family stuff to do. It is really good practice, though. Try out a few things here and see how you feel. It'll give you some insight into the strengths and weaknesses of different forms. You've been drawing different cacti and plants, right? Try doing that, but in a way you haven't yet.
I'll give it a shot. I guess.
That's the spirit!
Caprice's phone buzzes in her pocket. She takes a moment to glance at the screen. Her smile wavers slightly, and when she returns it to her place, her voice has lost just a bit of its excited edge.
Well, I'm off. Have a good time, everyone. Wallace, would you mind looking?
Sure. Take care.
Whoops. Didn't want to do that.
See ya, Caprice.
Oh boy, Discord's being stupid for some reason when I try to look at something. Eileen has already turned to her own bag, obviously ignoring the prompt for today as she takes out the tubes of paint and well-used brushes. Caprice gives 2 thumbs up and hops out of the room, taking out her phone and dialing as she goes. Too late, I realize I forgot to ask her about the notes she was going to lend me. I'll have to call her later and see if she'll be up to share them before the weekend. With a sigh, it looks like I have to figure this out myself. I take a look at the supplies at the table, trying to figure out what exactly to try out.
Olive.
Hey, Allison.
I don't think I've heard my name so many times in one day. A weird thought that I push aside for now.
I know it seems like a lot, but it's a really fun segment. I remember it from last year. Caprice brought in what she could, but if you want to try sculpting, just let me know. I have some extra clay with me.
Oh, sure. Thanks for the offer.
Allison gives me a reassuring smile, without another word, likely to give me time to think. She takes her own supplies off to the table next to Eileen. That just leaves... As my eyes fall over to Wallace, he meets my gaze evenly. I notice he doesn't have a single thing with him in the way of art. Instead of his usual tablet and laptop combo, he's holding a notebook and a ballpoint pen. Oh, that is daring.
I'm not drawing today, so it won't be much help.
Ah, okay, never mind.
No worries. Do you have an art block or something?
Far from it.
He gestures with his notebook as if I'm supposed to glean some important information just from the cover. All it says is roughs and poor handwriting on the cover. What's that supposed to mean?
I'm going to be planning out the next chapter of my comic.
Ooh.
Without drawing?
I need to write it before I can draw it. I don't know if it'll count in your case, but it's pretty easy to do if you get in the headspace for it.
I see. Thanks.
Wallace steps away to a nearby table, opening his notebook and taking out a pack of index cards. Even from here, I can see the cards have a lot of writing on them. Something to reference as he goes, maybe? Well, the options are all here. I just have to pick one. Oh. I'm at a total loss here. Mood. Alright, let's see what each one is gonna show for a chibi. Oh, well, the cactus. Just blank face. A happy little cactus. Hey, another happy little cactus. That will do this. It's there. Oh. Painting is straightforward at least. Sculpting is intimidating, but she's nice. He said he was writing, but I'm still not sure which way which route I wanna go with this. Crap, that is a challenge. Fuck. Which one do I want to go with? You know what? We'll start with Allison. She's friendly. Allison works on shaping a white ball of clay with her hands and somewhat hooked tool. Scraping off bits and pieces here and there. As I approach, she looks up, a bright smile to greet me.
Hey, I thought I'd take you up on that offer.
That's great! Come sit. There's plenty to share.
As I sit, Allison moves over her supplies to the middle of the table between the assortment of bright bricks and small metal tools. She's printed out an article on beginners sculpting tips. Allison hums to herself, seemingly content to work on her piece at her own pace without any particular instruction. I grab a green brick to try and mimic her movement.
How are you liking it? Your classes, I mean.
As she says that, I remember something vaguely about her having taken the class before. With that in mind, I feel no shame in being totally honest.
I wish it were as easy as it seemed on the flyer.
She laughs and nods along. Already, the little form she was pulling and shaping starts to look like a small bird.
I know. I know. At least you have Caprice as a tutor, huh? She's, well, like she said before, she wouldn't miss an art club meeting for the world.
Is everything okay?
She pauses. The tail of the bird falls off. Its connection too thin.
I'm not really sure, to be honest. She doesn't really talk to us about it, but ever since her argument with her roommate began, she's been sort of out of it. To go from the best of friends to how they're acting now? I don't know what could have happened to cause such a rift so quickly.
You're talking about Millie, right? The writing club lead?
Mm-hmm. I've tried asking, but she just insists that everything is totally okie dokie and changes the subject. If you find out anything, let me know. We're all pretty worried about her.
I'm a little surprised by how openly Allison shares her sentiments with me. A new person to the club, let alone how candidly she speaks. It's refreshing. Haley's cryptic advice from earlier still rings in my head, and hearing directly how someone feels is a relief. I give a nod. In my hands, the class formed into a flat, leafy shape. Allison changes the subject, asking me about where I work and what my hobbies are to pass the time.
Oh, look! A sea turtle!
Oh,
He's cute.
the two girls. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. The two girls press their hands against the glass to look at the turtle in question, which the sign explicitly says not to do. He doesn't seem to mind, lazily swimming by. They appear to be the only ones among us excited to be here. Eileen and Wallace looks half interested from a couple feet away. I think I'm in the same boat as them. It's not that I don't like looking at the wonders of the sea, just not now under these circumstances. I originally pegged Eileen's asinine field trips remarks as one of her typical grumblings, but Caprice wasted no time validating her. When Caprice called me this morning to tell me we were going to an aquarium, I almost immediately refused. I'm still wondering if I should have. The last few art club meetings alone have been more of a casual hangout than anything else. And the last thing I feel like doing is hanging out when I could be studying. Still, it's about the only opportunity I have to even speak to Caprice since I decided to join the club, so I figured I might as well go.
Hey, are you seeing this? Pay attention. This will be on the test later.
There's a test?
Test?
I perk up a little for the first time since we arrived, skipping again. Oh, something akin to hope swelling in my chest. This is a roundabout review of the last few classes we've had.
There's no test.
Ow.
The test!
Taking offense to Eileen's statement, Caprice peels our eyes from the turtle, spinning dramatically to face us. I deflate a bit. Any chance of actually studying out the window?
Like always, the test is gonna be the stuff we make that comes afterward. I'm expecting you to come back fully inspired.
Oh.
Field trips are never just about having fun, huh?
She simply waves him off, returning attention back to the tank.
If you can't look at a creature in its natural habitat and become inspired to draw or paint,
These aren't their natural habitats.
They do what they can to emulate it.
it's close enough. Look at him swim.
She points again, this time to the turtle, who is making another round by the glass. He twirls as he swims past, eager to give us humans a show.
And not just him. This place is filled with life.
All of it beautiful.
At least one of you gets it. Let's head to the next exhibit.
She grabs Allison's arm and the two of them pull forward. The rest of us trail behind.
She gets this excited every time we come here.
How often do you guys visit this place?
In the past year, 4 or 5 times, maybe.
Last time I came here, I was in elementary school.
And it already feels too soon, right?
As if to justify her distaste for the place, she shivers a bit. I thought it was odd for her to dress this warm for the occasion, but it actually looks like she could do with another layer or two.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with visiting as an adult. Once in a while.
Once in a
Every
while.
few years I could see. Doesn't the novelty wear off after so many times?
Not for her.
Why do I feel like this is about to get deeper? By the time we caught up with the two, they stopped at another tank to watch more fish swim by. Caprice points to this and that as the little things swim by, rattling off facts as they go. Allison seems to be keeping up with Caprice's pace well enough.
Plankton mostly.
Mm-hmm, right.
I love them.
There's a word for it.
There's a word for everything, sweetie. Both of them closed their eyes as if straining to think of whatever they're talking about.
There you are. You should have told me where to meet.
I'm sorry, who are you? Who are you?
Mom!
She rushes to hug the woman who approached us. The uniform she's wearing matches the other aquarium employees we've seen dotted around the place thus far. By the rest of her appearance, she's definitely related to Caprice. Were it not for the shout, I might have guessed her for an older sister or maybe aunt.
Hey, here for club work?
Yep.
She looks at each of us, but lingers on me with a polite smile. I guess I'm the only one she doesn't know yet.
Oh, right, Mom. This is Olive. They're our newest member.
Nice to finally meet you, Olive.
Oh, so Caprice has talked a lot about us. Finally? I glance over to Caprice, who smiles back at me like nothing is amiss with that statement. She extends her hand to shake, so I grasp it. Her handshake is gentler than I would have assumed for someone related to Caprice. In the back of my mind, I remember all the times Caprice had dipped out citing family affairs. Her mom looks perfectly healthy though, which is a relief.
I'm Charlotte, but you can call me Charlie. Caprice's mom, as you may have gathered by now.
I don't think I'll ever be comfortable calling it Pierre's mom by her given name, let alone a nickname.
So, hey, you guys looking for inspiration?
Yeah.
That's the excuse.
Great, check this out.
She plays the part of tour guide well, leading us all to a nearby tank, each of us following behind with various levels of eagerness. As Caprice and Allison fawn over the various fish, Charlie narrows her eyes looking for a specific creature. Eventually she seems to spot her prize, pointing towards a small pile of rubble. Is it a penguin? Is it a penguin?
He's kinda hiding, but look at that guy there. We got him in recently.
We all move closer to see the creature poking from behind the aquarium rocks.
That's a wolf eel.
Oh.
He's pretty ugly. Sorta looks like this guy.
She grins at Wallace, who responds with an exaggerated scowl.
Hey, the eel is trying his best.
Glad to see I have so many people in my corner.
The conversation doesn't even seem to register to Caprice, as she keeps the entirety of her focus trained entirely on the timid creature.
He's cool.
He is ugly, though.
Oh, damn.
Totally.
Oh my. What?
He's also not really an eel.
Say what now?
What? He looks like one. What makes him not one?
Rather than turn Charlie, Caprice leans further into the glass, trying to dissect the not actually an eel with her eyes. You know, that's kind of like me. They're not actually a dragon. Or a rock. By technicality. But that's besides the point.
Something to do with gills, or... you're gonna have to be the one to tell me all that stuff.
Oh, wait, I see. He has little fins behind his head.
No one else reacts, but Caprice looks extremely pleased with herself as she stands up straight.
You know, like a fish. He's a really long fish.
Are eels not fish? Rather than show off how ignorant I am about the classification of marine life, I'm more interested in how Caprice knew that in the first place.
Are you studying this stuff alongside art?
Both Caprice and her mom turns to me in response. While Caprice looks a bit confused at my question, Charlie is beaming.
She didn't say. Caprice here is gonna be a marine biologist.
She pats her daughter's shoulder with pride. Caprice looks a bit sheepish.
It's what I plan on studying in university anyway.
These two seem to get along well.
Like mother, like daughter,
No, she's smarter than me. I just memorize scripts and whatnot. Though you can't work here long without learning some stuff.
I'm more about marine mammals, though. We should go see the otters next.
Otters! Otters! I want to see the
Yeah,
otters!
I've been looking forward to it.
You might want to wait. Feeding time's coming up soon.
We get to feed the otters? Do we get to feed the otters?
Speaking of feeding time, if we're gonna be waiting anyway, we may as well grab something to eat.
I'm on my lunch break. We can all go together.
The aquarium has a little sea-themed cafe, more than a cafeteria than a restaurant. The menu items have various aquatic names to mask the fact that it's all bog standard food. Oh god. I stand next to Caprice as we serve ourselves at the tiny salad bar, or rather, for the first time since we've arrived. Caprice has slowed down, specifically to stand next to me, it seems.
Hey!
She speaks in a sharp whisper, like she's telling me a secret. I need to get that. Like, if there's ever been a moment where I needed a Caprice sticker, that's what it would be.
How are you enjoying it so far?
enjoying what? The aquarium?
She nods earnestly, glancing back at our group of a few paces ahead of us.
Well, it's nice. Yeah.
It's the best! But, I wanted to make sure you're actually having a good time. I know I haven't been the most reliable person to you lately.
She smiles, a bit distantly. I guess my reluctance to enjoy the field trip has shown more than I thought. Or she's better at reading people than she lets on.
I mean, it hasn't been all bad. The club has been perfect for catching up on the practical assignments, but I would really appreciate any help with the exam portion too.
Absolutely! Our next meeting will be extra crunchy, you'll see! Anyway, I really appreciate you giving it your all, including coming here. I have to beg Eileen and Wallace to tag along for these sometimes.
She laughs a bit, despite the fact that it doesn't really sound like a joke. Still, I give her a smile in return. We finish piling up our salad and find our seats at Charlie's table, with the other three in our party off at another, quietly chatting amongst themselves.
So, Olive, have you ever been here before?
Kind of. Like I told Eileen earlier, the last time I was here was in elementary school.
Caprice loved this place as a kid. Couldn't get enough.
More than now? More than 4 to 5 times a year?
She would drag me here. There was nothing I could do.
Yeah, right. You begged me to come.
No, I had no choice.
Sure, sweetie, sure. You know, I'm actually curious now about the button that's on Caprice's hat. Given her enthusiastic invitation this morning, it's hard to buy Caprice's case here.
I couldn't just leave you at home. You did love it, though.
It's alright, I guess. A solid 7. Maybe an 8 when the winter decorations are up.
She's not fooling anyone, not even herself. A fact she's willing to quietly admit with a smile. The way these two effortlessly, I swear I can English, bounce off each other is something to be admired, and I can't help but match hers and Charlie's grins, albeit considerably smaller. There's a question that eventually creeps into my mind that causes my smile to waver a bit, but if it's anything like my own situation, it might get awkward where I
There wasn't always someone around to watch her for me, so I'd take her to work sometimes. This place was pretty accommodating, thankfully.
To answer my questions without the need to bring it up myself, Charlie's demeanor remains unchanged, so at least it doesn't seem like too much of a sore spot.
I get that. My mom had to bring me into work now and then too.
I guess our family lives weren't super different growing up. A small vague feeling of melancholy flickered in me for a moment, though I don't know whether it's for myself or Caprice.
If it wasn't Mom bringing me in for work, it was Grandpa driving me up here just to visit. I was raised by the sea.
She tilts her head up slightly, bringing the life of her left hand to her forehead in a dramatic fashion.
And this junky cafe food.
Charlie frowns for a moment as she stirs the small bowl of soup in front of her. Between that and the salad Caprice and I opted for, we end up getting the most sophisticated items on the menu, which says altogether way too much about the meal.
Things are changing now, though. How's Mike?
He's fine, thank you. How's Millie? Have you tried talking to her again?
Oh.
So anyway, when's otter time?
Something that looks like genuine disappointment finally makes its way to Charlie's face. It doesn't really suit her after seeing her smile nonstop since I met her.
Caprice.
Oh no. Oh no. Are we gonna learn
Don't
lore?
worry, Mom. Things will work out fine, I'm sure.
Are we gonna learn lore?
I sure hope so. I wouldn't want to.
Mom, really? It'll be okay.
I'm scared to learn lore. Their conversation goes like this for the rest of lunch. Other club members occasionally chime in from a table away when prompted. They seem to be pretty familiar with Caprice's Charlie, talking as if they're old friends. Though we had pretty similar upbringings, I couldn't imagine bickering with my mom so much, even if it's all in jest. Although it's different than I'm used to, it's still a relationship I can understand. There's a closeness when all you have is each other. Caprice mentioned a grandpa, and I'm sure other friends and family members came in and out through her life, but her core family was her and her mom. I know what that's like. When it's just the two of you, you hold on to each other as best as you can. Before long, Charlie declares it's almost feeding time, so we make our way to the otter exhibit. She's the one who directs the crowd to watch, explaining as a handler feeds the critters.
25% of their body weight a day. Wow!
Oh. Look at the otter. Also, Allie and Eileen in the background. Now I'll think about it. I know I'm still learning art styles, but that feels like a little bit of Theo art there. I may be wrong. I might be wrong. But it does feel like that. When she gives this speech, her voice is loud and cheerful. I can definitely see where Caprice gets it from. Otters really are cute little things. Even Eileen and Wallace seems interested, while Allison looks like she's about to cry from the cuteness, clutching her mouth, and Caprice...
Olive, look! Ollie the otter! Maybe it's short for Olive, too.
She laughs, apparently finding this amusing. I show her the grimace she probably expects, and she laughs more. Caprice gets excited about everything, it seems, yet I feel like today I'm seeing her watch something she really truly loves.
Don't forget, when we get back, we're drawing otters. Or wolfiels.
Subtle. We're drawing otters. Or wolfiels. Not that she doesn't love art, of course. Alright, so right here is where we save. This is where we save and take another small break. Small break. Oh, so as always, hydrate, drink water, something. Honestly, just drink something. If you're drinking adult / alcoholic beverage, hydrate as well. But yeah, get up, stretch, unshrimp yourselves, do what you need, eat food, please, and we will be right back. Alrighty, and we are back. Hope everyone had a good break, a chance to get up and stretch and take care of some things. And if you haven't, please do. Taking breaks throughout the day is very important. And now we return back to the game. With all of my classes done for the day, I make my way to the club room. At this point, it's starting to feel like a part of my usual routine. A thought that scares me at least a little bit. There we go. What's not usual, however, is Caprice standing outside of the door. I pull my phone out as I approach the door just to double check the time. I'm definitely not early.
Hiya.
Hey.
She honestly plays with a paperclip, content to ignore the elephant in the room.
So, do I need to ask why we're not inside?
Oh, it's 'cause I forgot the keys at home today.
Oh my god. I love her. Oh, that's all. How silly of me.
So is the club canceled today then? Or are we moving somewhere else, or...?
Nah, just waiting on Allie to show up. She should be around soon. I think her classes are about done.
Oh, does she have a spare key?
Well, she can get the door open.
There are a dozen different ways to read the sly smile on her face, and none of them seem pleasant. That would be accurate.
Oh, perfect timing! Allie!
Bree stands on her tiptoes, glancing over my shoulder. I match her and spin my head around to get a glimpse of Allison approaching us. Even from a distance, her frown is obvious.
Again?
Again? The fact that this isn't the first time. Caprice tosses her the paperclip as Allison makes her way next to me.
Again. Sorry.
You know I don't like doing this. Especially not out in the middle of the hall.
That's why I apologized.
With a sigh, Allison unbends the paperclip and crouches down so her eyes meet the lock on the door. It takes until she inserts the clip into the door for me to fully process what's happening. Wait, what? Olive's expression is like, what the fuck is happening?
Oh, wait.
Wait.
Shh. Just watch.
Allison's entirely still, outside of her hands going through some of the motions she clearly had to practice several times before. I think to move my body to try and cover her so it's not entirely obvious what's happening if someone were to walk upon us, but Allison twists the handle and the door pops open before I get a chance. As Allison stands back up, Caprice gives her a quick hug for the reward.
Thanks. You're the best.
And you're the worst.
True friendship. So she says, but the two share a small laugh regardless.
Where did you pick that up? Actually, why did you pick that up?
Boredom.
Oh,
Allison releases herself from Caprice's embrace and turns back around, reminded that I'm still here.
it was just something fun to learn. I don't actually do it outside of playing around with locks and stuff at home, though.
And the club door?
the club door, but that's all.
She helps with the cupboards and all the other locks inside too. Eileen also told me this story about a vending machine.
Okay, but the vending machine was just a... Wait, wasn't a vending machine just a kick? Crap, I'm trying to remember now.
Thank you, Caprice.
Cat is now securely out of the bag, much to Allison's dismay. Caprice's grin is a mile wide in contrast.
Maybe we should continue this inside so people can't hear.
Yes, good idea.
Allison swings the door the rest of the way open and is the first to find her way to her usual spot. Caprice and I shuffle in behind, with Caprice wasting no time to sit herself at the front of the classroom.
You know, nefarious implications aside, it's a pretty cool skill to have.
Allison and I continue to shuffle through our respective bags, pulling out our supplies and organizing them on her desk.
Honestly, stuff like that is in one ear and out the other for me. As soon as I understand something at a basic level, it exits my brain instantly. The only reason that hasn't yet is because of, well, you saw.
You're welcome, by the way.
It's neat that you're just able to pick things up like that, though. I can't juggle my attention around to save my life.
I don't think that's a bad thing. Even if you know you can't focus on multiple things, you'll eventually...
Whoops. I finish unpacking my sketchbook and notes from class, then place my bag on the floor. Allison looks to me almost be done as well, pulling out a small box of clay.
Jumping around a lot makes it hard to stick with one thing. You'll be a better artist than me by the end of this.
Eager to prove her wrong, I open my sketchbook and flip through what few pages I've filled out in the past couple of weeks. They all seem pretty bad to me in the moment, but to my surprise, there's at least some sort of difference, no matter how small.
You'll have me beat in ceramics at least.
She exchanges a brief smile with me before turning to her box and starting on her next project. If I had her ability to multitask, I wouldn't even be in this situation, but I'm starting to feel like I can make it work. As I get ready to start flipping out a new page in my sketchbook, the door opens once more as Eileen Wallace steps inside.
There you are. Okay, today's club meeting is now officially in session.
I wake to my phone buzzing incessantly. It's not the alarm I'm used to hearing. Without leaving the comfort of my bed, I reach to grab it. 5 new texts. Oh, hey, wake up, sleepyhead. You don't have any class today, right? Me neither. So when's a good time for you? For some tutoring, I mean. I didn't forget my promise. Text back ASAP. Or else I'm charging you extra. I'm sorry. This seems like a bit more than 5. At 6:47 in the morning? I don't like that feeling. Somehow her texts hold a new level of energy. Maybe they'd be a little charming if she didn't rapid fire them. Rapid fire text. I wonder where I've seen that before. Or in my instance, rapid fire TikToks that get sent to me. Just woke up. We didn't agree on you charging me anything. Good. Brush your teeth, wash your face, and take a shower and get ready to go. Oh, where? Tutoring. I said that. Pay attention. I mean, on campus? Nah. We can. Oh my fucking god. We can meet somewhere, or maybe I could come over. That's fine, I guess. Or wait, you could come here. Go to Caprice place, huh? Will Millie be there? They're still fighting, right? Do I really want to go directly into the trenches of that war zone? Your roommate's okay with that? Yeah. Caprice just feels like that kid that goes to the store and sees the toy aisle and instantly gets excited. Don't worry about it. Everything's under... Okay, I got it. Control. Gonna need an address, of course. So she gives it to me, along with some confusing directions that I'll ignore and find online instead. We decide on a time for me to come over as well. Since I work tonight, I'd like to get this done early. Once again, she ambushed me. Increasingly, my decision to join her art club is filling me by every day, even outside the club room. Regardless, I feel a strange sense of relief wash over me. She didn't forget her promise. With the finals inching closer, each passing day, a promise of genuine tutoring is like a ray of light in the darkness. From the beginning, I knew that the art club meant trusting in Caprice. I need to get ready to go, which means giving my all in today's review. I don't know when I'll get another chance like this. My grades are hinging on it. I haven't gone to many other people's places in my adult life. I can't help but feel a little nervous. The fact that I might find myself physically stuck between Caprice and Millie definitely doesn't help the matters either. If they weren't afraid to go back and forth on campus, I can only imagine the terrors that happen in the privacy of their home. All this absent-minded musing has given me just enough time to pedal my way to the entrance of their complex. Time to push aside any lingering worries, Olive. From the outside, their building looks nicer than I expected. I guess that's what 3 people together can afford. I press the doorbell and immediately I hear muffled shouting on the outside. Oh boy. Oh, never mind. It's just Caprice excited shouting. The door unlocks and swings open. I'm greeted with the smiling face of Caprice.
Welcome! You're late.
You're late. The sudden shift in tone stings more than it should.
Yeah. Sorry, got held up just a little bit by traffic today.
The smile quickly returns, her disappointment nothing more than a joke.
Don't worry. We'll just do double time. Come in.
It's only like 5 minutes.
Caprice turns around and bounces back inside. I hesitant to follow her lead. Now I know for sure the apartment is definitely bigger than mine, and it certainly looks lived in. In the living room, clothes and books and various items laying strewn about. Maybe I shouldn't have expected them to be tidier. Haley sits on the couch flicking through her phone.
Hello.
Hey,
Haley's here. She won't be joining us for tutoring.
I'm banned from all art club activities while acting as a traitor to the other side.
Damn. I try not to look too obvious as I glance around.
What about,
Millie? She's out.
Long gone. At least for a few hours.
I feel my shoulders relax. That's one thing I don't have to worry about today.
Let's get to work.
I give the apartment a quick once over. I want to start making my way to whatever study area she may have planned out, but everything is so messy.
Where?
The counter.
You mean the one with the books, the laptop, and a bowl of something? The police points to their kitchenette, wherein lies the counter in question. It's covered in books, paperwork, and a variety of other so-and-sos. I guess that qualifies as the most study-esque place here. I wonder where they eat at. With that in mind, I noticed their cluttered countertop and their sink full of dirty dishes. This kitchen and its contents clearly have gone to waste.
Do you guys ever cook in here?
Cook?
Not.
Ollie! Ollie.
Looking like she's about to admonish me, she pauses for dramatic effect.
That microwave gets everyday use.
Oh my fucking god. I forgot for a split second. This bitch can't cook. I love her. But holy shit. I'm sure.
Right. Are you really sticking with that?
I mean, how else are we gonna heat up water for tea? Like, honestly, how else are we gonna do that?
With what?
Ollie.
Ever since our fateful encounter with Ollie the Otter, Caprice had decided the name suits me.
You don't like it?
The only person who calls me that is my mom. It's kind of embarrassing.
It's adorable.
It's cute!
See?
Isn't it cute?
It's pretty cute, Ollie.
That just embarrasses me more. I hear this enough from Mom as is. While Caprice is being genuine, I'm almost certain Haley is playing along just to mess with me. Her little smile definitely makes it seem that way.
I'm just not used to it. I mean, do you really have to?
Yes, it's important.
It's important.
Super important.
I sigh. This topic isn't important enough to argue.
Do what you want.
Caprice fist pumps in tiny victory. She begins the task of moving things off the table and out of our way. I join in to help, but following her lead, I just place them in some other cluttered part of the room.
Are you three managing well enough on takeout and frozen dinners?
Well enough.
You know how it is. College life.
More than I wish to admit. If there's one thing I'm absolutely clueless about, it's college life.
I don't know about that. I cook as often as I can.
That's the worst thing to say. They're gonna have you cook everything.
Right? But that isn't always an option.
I can make eggs.
It's something, at least.
Caprice cannot.
Haley head swivels, a small frown revealing itself. I follow her line of sight as best as I'm able, eventually landing on a microwave. Caprice claims is well loved. Caprice cuts my concerned gaze off by jumping between myself and the kitchen.
Anyway,
She pulls a chair out from under the table and gestures to it.
you wait here, and I'll go grab the stuff we need.
Bolts off, presumably towards her bedroom. I share a glance with Haley, but she shrugs.
Want a tour?
Sure.
Without moving from her spot, she gestures down the hall.
Bathroom and bedrooms are that way. That's about it. You've seen everything else.
Great tour. 5 out of 5.
Thanks. I really think I've got my bearings now.
I'm not sure whether her attempt at humor is just Haley being Haley or her struggling to make a proper conversation. Given the dead air that follows my response, I'm guessing the latter.
Caprice still struggling with making meetings, huh?
Yeah, things have been really busy for her, apparently.
You think you have enough time to catch up?
I don't know yet. Do you think I made the wrong choice?
Nah, you're right where you need to be. You two can figure it out.
I expected to be a moment of reflection before she continued, but her response was surprisingly immediate.
That aside, I hope my being here isn't making things worse, at least.
I was under the impression you were here to get a passing grade.
Well, obviously. But that doesn't mean I want to give Caprice a hard time.
Aww, your empathy is showing.
Color rises to my face as she gives me a slight smile. I feel like she's messing with me somehow. Before I can say anything else, Caprice returns. Her hands are full of books and loose papers.
Here we go.
Oh boy, study session!
This is everything I have from my past art classes. Basic fundamentals, a bit of history.
Holy shit. She emphasizes by poking her finger on the top of the stack.
Plus some personal stuff I brought.
Huh. Digging through the pile, she pulls out a floppy textbook. I recognize it immediately. I brought the same book myself. Art? What art? What is it? And much more.
Did you bring yours too? That'll make it a bit easier.
It's in my bag.
Cool. I explain as I begin taking it out, along with a couple other required texts.
Good.
She takes her seat and pulls out a stool next to her, beckoning me to follow. Once I've complied, she returns her attention to the book in front of her.
So in the club, we've been working on basic art techniques, and that's good. But the class is also about this stuff.
I swear she points to the history. She quickly flips the page like it's a flip book.
Art history, art theory, art knowledge.
Don't get me wrong, I love art. I love art theory. Color theory I like to an extent. Not good at it, but I like the concept. Art history is it's so much of a nightmare for me, honestly.
So how much do you know?
I open the book and stare at the page I randomly turn to. I'm not sure what I'm looking for. In truth, I barely even opened this thing ever since stressing about it at the diner way back when. Caprice was right. The professor hardly ever brings it up in class. I'd been hoping all this time to look at it in the art club, so I also put off my own independent study.
Okay, we'll start with chapter 1.
Chapter 1 it is then.
Yay!
Good luck.
You're gonna need it.
Wrong again. Take another look. An important thing to look at is the values and shading.
I look dumbfounded at the picture in the book. It's some old painting. Caprice's hand covers the caption. I'm not exactly sure what values it refers to.
Does this even matter?
It'll probably be on the test.
It'll probably be on the test.
Do you know the answer?
Nope.
Yes.
No. I get a long sigh, leaning back against my chair slightly. Why did I ever think this would be an easier in the first place? I feel more stupid than ever. The beginner questions of the book completely escaping me. Priest closes her eyes, refocusing herself to find a new angle of attack. Something eventually must come to her as her eyelids opens and she focuses in on me.
You're taking this class because you're struggling, right?
Yeah, obviously. It's not like I'm against...
I know I'm tutoring you, but I hate asking for help. Feeling like you're unable to do something yourself is the worst. Seminars are actually really hard for me. It feels impossible for me to learn from someone else droning on and on. I want to just skip sometimes.
For the first time ever, it sounds like Caprice is complaining compared to her usual dramatic grandstand, though. This feels a bit different.
But I really want to pass all my classes too, you know? So I go because it's my only chance to learn all the stuff that isn't in a book. I love marine animals. I really want to work with them someday. So I keep trying my hardest. And even with the stuff I struggle with, I get through to the end somehow. You have to try your hardest in everything you do. Nothing's totally insurmountable.
She tilts her head, trying her best to get the rest of the thought out of her brain.
Well, the stuff that's important to you at least. Does this matter is up to you.
I look down at the pages of the book, not focusing on anything.
I mean, this stuff is important. I want to pass. That's why I'm here. It just feels disconnected from me. I don't understand how to look at fine art and understand what I'm looking at, much less how to do it myself.
She scratches her head, clawing for an idea.
You just sort of feel it in your bones.
I don't think anyone can teach me how to do that.
Well, maybe it's just that this study method isn't good.
Got any better ideas?
She scratches her head even harder. The fervent scratching stops as she crosses her arms in front of her, though.
Let's take a break. I'm hungry.
Time for the good old microwave cooking?
Yeah, sure.
She had my attention for a second there, but it seems like the moment has passed.
What do you want to do for lunch?
Well,
I let my eyes wander around the mistreated kitchenette. I don't mind them ordering fast food, but between my small exchange with Haley and Caprice's surprisingly open speed, I feel like it'd be rude of me as a guest to let them worry about that today. And well, I guess my empathy is showing.
If you guys are okay with it, I could cook something.
Caprice immediately lights up at the suggestion. Even when she's mostly hidden behind the couch, it's not too hard to see I've gotten Haley's attention either.
I need a clean space first.
I can cook, but you have to clean before.
Oh, right.
We can help with that.
Box spaghetti, olive oil, and a little bit of garlic, salt and pepper, grated cheese, and pepperoncini. My brain just wants to read pepperoni, so I'm going with that. Would be nice, but this is more than enough.
This should be good enough. No one has any allergies or intolerances, right?
Nope.
Lactose, but I'll still eat cheese, thanks.
Mood. Mood.
That's okay. Most cheeses...
I look over and see the two of them are giving me their undivided attention. Haley's expression is hard to read as usual, but Caprice is looking on with genuine interest.
Usually fine. In any case, just sit back. This shouldn't take very long.
I set the pasta to boil.
You know, this is pretty easy to do. I think you can learn just by watching.
Are we sure about that?
Oh, I've done it before.
So not just eggs, huh?
I get to work on the sauce as well, giving each ingredient a small sniff before throwing it in the pot. Not fully willing to trust the things in this mess of a kitchen.
As long as the instructions are easy, I can do it.
Honestly, that's valid. Like, Okay, small tangent. Let's be real. Why the fuck is it every single time I try to look for a recipe of something either new or just mostly something new? It's a whole life story before getting to the actual recipe. And then the recipe is even longer than the life story.
But, you know, sometimes you just don't feel like it.
How often is sometimes?
Majority of the time.
Most?
Yep. I can't stop myself from sighing. This isn't really a good way to live.
It's a good thing we have you!
I'm not gonna be your personal chef.
Casey snaps her fingers.
Darn, you seem really good at it.
Well, it's my job.
Oh, right. The trolley diner.
You picked up everything just from that?
More or less. I only really had to learn the basics for the menu, but I like to research things on my own. And I wanted to try new things for my mom and me back home.
That's cool.
Yeah, impressive.
Not exactly a gourmet chef.
But you know a lot, right? And you're actually a pro.
I don't know how to put together a BLT or scramble an egg makes me a pro.
I think that anyone could learn to do what I do at work.
The fact that you're practically self-taught isn't nothing, though.
Some gear seems to be turning in Caprice's head as she crosses her arms again. I'm terrified at what could be coming next.
Yeah! Say, Ollie, what's the origin of this dish?
Not quite what I was expecting.
What? Spaghetti?
She nods enthusiastically. Haley smirks at me. I can't tell if I'm being made fun of.
It's Italian. Common with tomato sauce, but you guys didn't have any. This is a little more traditional.
Pick up the box that once held the noodles.
Not that this is authentic Italian or anything.
How do you know that?
Huh? Doesn't everyone?
Yeah, but there are things that make it definitely Italian, right?
Sure. Olive oil is a big one in Italian dishes, but the way the noodles are...
Oh, I see what's happening. I shift my eyes from the back of the pasta box to my tutor. She gives an embarrassed looking, "You got me" smile. Sorry, I gotta grab the duo here.
You get it, right? This is the same exact thing! No matter what you're learning, the building blocks are all the same, from pasta to paintings.
So you're saying I should just throw pasta at a canvas and hope it sticks?
At least that's what the class is trying to say. You can make an Italian dish because you know what makes one up. And if you know what makes up a Baroque-style painting, you can recognize it and paint your own.
Again, Caprice has surprised me enough to keep my attention.
It's just like cooking. You just try stuff out until you get the hang of it.
Considering the little I know about her culinary escapades, that alone explains so much.
Wait, no. It's really not the same at all. I read recipes. I also have my manager at work constantly watch over me and tell me if what I was doing was right or wrong. I'm not really the type to learn by just diving headfirst and hoping for the best.
Something clicks for the both of us, and we swivel to meet each other's gaze.
Aha!
Looks like they found a study method.
That's it then. I'm gonna have to teach you all the recipes for every art movement.
Oh god, do you realize how many that is?
That'll be easy. Consider me the soup chef of social movements.
I don't even want to correct her.
Oui, chef.
Definitely didn't see my offer to cook in the cards today, so actually being able to tie it all in on the spot is impressing me even more than the actual lesson. True, her attempt to connect was a little clumsy, but it definitely worked. I think we both understand each other a bit better. I begin to drain the pasta.
When I originally thought of an elective art class, I thought I'd just be drawing whatever, which seemed doable. It's hard to consider all the history and stuff alongside it, though.
The art we do today is built on the art of the past. Or something like that. I think cooking is probably the same?
Not entirely wrong.
It is, yeah. But I understand, so we don't need to keep stretching the comparisons.
Finally, at the end of that lesson, I returned to watching the pot in front of me.
Food's about done, by the by.
I'm glad we hit the important part of the lesson. Good job, team.
Wow, way to go, team. Over lunch, Caprice tried tutoring from the book some more, and Haley looked on with what I can only guess is amusement. I don't know if anything's changed within me because of what she said, but for some reason, talking about it while eating spaghetti I cooked made it feel a little easier to get into.
Thanks for the lunch.
Thank you for helping me out. Really.
I promised I would.
If you liked it, I could teach you how to make something like this sometime too.
Yeah.
Just make sure you have a fire extinguisher. Or 3, handy if you do.
Hey, it wasn't that bad.
Sadly enough, I've known people who almost started fire in the kitchen. Haley visibly shudders.
It was worse than bad.
What happened?
It was one mistake. Don't worry about it.
Let's see if I had to guess. Left the oven on without a timer, burnt the food in there. Or almost started a grease fire somehow. She ushers me out the door, closing it behind her.
Forget about that.
Aw, I guess we'll never find out.
You're not going to tell me?
Nope. It's the past. Let's keep looking forward.
Uh-huh. Well, thanks again for the tutoring.
I hope some of it stuck. You can be thick-headed.
Oh, really? And you're not?
I'm the teacher here. Besides, I've cracked the code. You're never gonna be able to get rid of me or my fun history facts.
Who said I want to?
Oh? How was that?
Give me your phone and you'll see.
Oh. Oh, well.
Alright, good luck cracking that code then.
I didn't think it would actually be 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh my fucking. Olive. Olive, please. No. Sweetie, please.
Your actual password isn't password, is it?
Olive, why?
I'd like to move on from this topic.
God damn it, don't tell me your password is actually password. With a few quick swipes, Caprice navigates to my contacts and opens up her own profile. A couple taps later, music starts playing.
Ta-da! I'm gonna send you 1,000,000 notes. Every single day will be a quiz.
I don't think I ever set a custom ringtone before, so I wouldn't be able to change it even if I had tried. She snickers. The smile left behind on her face is contagious. She got me. After a moment, she passes my phone back.
Don't forget, club meeting tomorrow. See you then.
Yeah, same as always. Take care.
She re-enters the apartment, slamming the door behind her. I retrieve my bike and prepare for the ride home. Later, I catch myself at work, cooking with a little more enthusiasm than normal. Oh boy. So, you know what? Let me save. And I'm curious. Let's save right here. Yeah, right here. I just want to see exactly how far we're into the act. Oh. I guess I don't find out just yet. Oh wait, does this unlock some like art type thing? But I think that's where I'm gonna end stream today. Also because I don't want to lose my voice. Or I don't want to overwork my voice considering karaoke tomorrow. Yes. We have, or today. Oh shit, it's like 12:30. But yeah, we have karaoke probably in like 12 hours. I'm gonna test the odds or / luck and do the karaoke here on Twitch. See how that goes. But yeah, it will be a Valentine's Day karaoke. And get ready because I have some pretty obvious songs, some unexpected songs, and some unexpected surprises. Be ready. But until then, as always, stay awesome, keep rocking, hydrate, eat food, and have a good night. Bye-bye! Actually, hold on. You know what? I'm gonna try to start getting into the habit of this. Let's go raid someone. As soon as I can find who to raid. Actually, you know what? We'll go raid a PNG tuber that I've discovered recently. She seemed pretty friendly. She's also a Fox VTuber. Or PNG tuber. Yeah, go over there, give her a follow, say hi, and I will see you all next time. Bye!